this word really has a lot of clues right in the beginning. I've been also paying attention to Wayne Herschel's Facebook, and his last 2 or 3 posts, he's been talking about finding more and more of this gesture, and he has a certain name for the gesture, and I can't remember the name now, but it's basically the gesture, and it's in my intro or my outro where people have their hands up, and it's the W gesture, and we see it having to do with the Pleiadians, and he talks about it. He gave it a certain name. I don't know if he found that name in his ancient studies that he does, but that's what the W is. And it has to do with the letter 23, obviously by design from the code. But the W itself encodes many things. It encodes the leg of Taurus, which is a star map of the Pleiades. The 7 stars of the Pleiades point towards the star of Ra, which is symbolically in our alphabet as the E. That's the star of Ra. It's the pentacle that's opened by the trident. That's why they have a trident in the capital letter E. It's opened by the trident. When it opens, it becomes a Vesica Pisces. And this could all be symbolic, or it could be actually true, that there's actually like a wormhole up there in the sky, and when it opens, it looks like a Vesica Pisces. I mean, won't we be surprised someday if we see that? Well, here, right on the surface of this word, we have a 923, which would be the movement of to the 3 from the ego, or maybe, you know, with the ego. I think the ego is your companion on this journey. You know, trips you sometimes, helps you sometimes. And then the S and the E, basically what it is Ra. Ra is the S, that's 19, and then the E is the 5-pointed star, and that is 24. Well, so if you look at this as a, as a valence word with a inner core and an outer valence field, as if it was like an atom, aton, A-T-O-N. We'll get to that because we're in we just did the Akhenaten chapter, and that's why we look at things in terms of valence codes, because of the toroidal field, the torus, the apple, the eye, all these toroidal fields, the scarab, and the aton. These are all codes to tell you that what we're talking about is as above, so below, as within, so without, the unification of all these things, and the rotation of these things. And they're very concerned with rotation, because we see, you know, 28s and 33s, and that's the rotation. Those are the rotation numbers of the sun. Well, anyway, looking at the word wise to see what is this word telling us. So it looks like there's a progression from this type of completion, which would be from the 2, the 3, from the 9, the 9's in the center. I'm going to do 2 valence codes, one with the 9 in the center and one with the is in the center, okay? But this one with the I in the center has the 24 on this side. Now, these two, so the outer field would rotate like this, and this would be a 46. No, this would be a 47. So, again, we're talking about the agent, someone who's putting the mission ahead of their personal comfort. So that's what you would need to be to become wise. This is why we should not vilify these numbers, because an agent is both encoded by the dark Illuminati will encode it in terms of CNN or somebody being an agent, whereas in the deeper code, it has a deeper meaning, which basically means somebody who puts the mission first. Well, I've been looking at this thinking, this is a progression from 23 to 24, but the root of it is a 6, and it has the 4 in it. So it has the 2, which is the B, which is Isis, and the 4, which is a D, which to me encodes the dome. So this word includes another step. There's the wisdom, the attainment of wisdom, it may be the enlightenment that's encoded by the 3 over here, but then you're bringing it back to the 4 corners. You're not just going up into heaven and sitting on a fog mountain and, you know, wearing your wings and you have your trophies next to you and you achieved it and You have a little recording of the applause that was there. You're going back into the dome. And you guys who are listening to me, this is you. Because you know that you have wisdom within you, and you know you have courage, and you came back into the dome. And because you're heroes. So that should give you a little chill, and if you feel a chill, that's you. Or a little tingly. That's you, my lovies. All right, so then this whole thing adds up to 56, and this is the number of integrating phi and pi. So this is the symbolic relationship again between these numbers. Our alphabet is symbolic, our numbers are symbolic, our shapes are symbolic, colors, frequencies, everything is symbolic. And so Y's, you know, on one level it says this, traveling through the wormhole of Ra. Now, if you look at the wormhole of Ra from the air, from Astana, and it's been a long time since I've done an Astana video. If someone reminds me in the comments, and I'm right there at the computer, I might impulsively do one when I read your comment. Just do an Astana video, because I keep referring to it. And then I get doing something else. So you come back through the wormhole, because in Astana, it shows the incarnation tube there. It shows a fetus and the magic sword coming into the dome. That's the wormhole of Ra. And it could be in a dimension that we don't see it. We really don't understand reincarnation, we have to admit. Or at least if we understand it, we don't remember it with our human brains. And then this 6 is what it's talking about as you come through the star of Ra. This is to the level of the field. So it also says that, but this is also 6/5 is the ratio. 6/5 times phi squared, picture the phi squared, approximates pi, which is their idea of holy. Okay, all right. Hey, that video stayed under 10 minutes. All right, talk to you soon. Okay, I forgot. It didn't stay under 10 minutes. For one thing, I paused it. But for another thing, I didn't do the IS in the middle. Okay, so if we put the IS in the middle, then we have 28, right? In the middle. I don't have the right kind of pen to write in this book because it has a soft paper and it absorbs my pen. So we have 28 in the middle, so you have to picture this. That's your core, 28. That is the rotation of the outer field of the sun. The sun affects our evolution, and it feeds us light, it feeds us the next step of energy, it holds us in the galactic cycle. It's kind of like an energy relay station, steps down the energy for us, even from higher dimensions. We don't understand what the sun is, and I don't think that Akhenaten was actually a sun worshiper. I think he just used that as a symbol because these people were all very literal and they needed statues and that kind of thing. So he needed to have something to show them, like, look, here's the Aten. I think that's what that was about. However, if you look at a flower being a consciousness and a rock being a consciousness and a dog being a consciousness, and, you know, people who even are in prison or suffering greatly, that they do have sacred consciousness within them. Why would the sun not have a consciousness, right? Maybe it just is a very large, bright friend in the sky. You should talk to the sun, see what it says to you. Okay, so the inner field is the 28. Now, that also has to do, there's magnetic particles coming off the sun that change. Every 28 days is what they call a moon cycle. However, I think that's a distortion. I don't even know if the moon so much affects you as much as it is the sun. I think that the sun affects our fertility cycles, and I think the Egyptians knew that. So we have to realize we might have been lied to about the moon affecting us and the sun maybe not affecting us. So anyway, your inner valence field is a 28, and your outer valence field here is a 28. See that? So you can kind of picture that, like picture it all moving. And the whole thing is a 56. It's interesting, right?